Ankita Robin and welcome to SG Global News. From the bold pastoral decision of a UK priest to deny Holy Communion to a Liberal Democrat MP who voted in favour of assisted dying, to the Vatican 11 sojourn to England for the Light of Faith tournament, we have many stories to cover. A Liberal Democrat MP was publicly condemned by his Roman Catholic priest during a church service and barred from receiving communion after supporting the assisted dying bill. In a post on platform X, Coughlin condemned the priest's decision as utterly disrespectful. However, the Catholic Diocese of Arundel and Brighton has defended the church's position while acknowledging the pressures MPs face.
Liberal Democrat MP Chris Coughlin has been barred from receiving communion at his local Catholic church by his pastor after supporting the assisted dying bill in Parliament. Father Jan Vane, the parish priest at St. Joseph's Catholic Church in Dorking, had warned Coughlin before the vote that supporting the bill would constitute obstinately persevering in sin and that communion would have to be withheld to avoid public scandal. Despite the warning, Coughlin voted in favour of the bill, which was passed in the House of Commons on June the 20th with a majority of 23 MPs. 2 days after the parliamentary vote, Father Vane announced at the Sunday Masses that Coughlin would no longer be admitted to the Eucharist. In a June 29th ex-post, Coughlin decried Father Vane's decision as utterly disrespectful. My private religion will continue to have zero direct relevance to my work as an MP representing all my constituents without fear or favour, he wrote. However, the Catholic Diocese of Arundel and Brighton has defended their church's position while acknowledging the pressures MPs face. In a statement, the diocese said, "The Catholic Church believes in the sanctity of life and the dignity of every person." Bishop Richard Moth has offered to meet the MP in person to discuss the issue. Meanwhile, several Catholic priests in the UK have openly supported Father Vane's stance.
On the Feast of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, June 27th, Croatian bishops consecrated their nation to the Sacred Heart in a solemn ceremony held simultaneously in churches across the country. The act, rooted in deep national devotion, was renewed following a decision by the Croatian Bishops' Conference and reflects a call to faith and trust amid today's spiritual challenges. This year's consecration holds added significance, marking 1,100 years since the split church councils and recalling a similar historic act by 160,000 young Croatians in 1900.
Croatian bishops consecrated their nation to the Sacred Heart of Jesus on Friday, 27 June, the Feast of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. The solemn ceremony took place simultaneously in all churches across Croatia following Holy Mass at 7 p.m. The clergy recited a special prayer of consecration after the post-communion prayer. The Croatian Bishops' Conference decided to renew this historic devotion at their 69th Plenary Assembly in November 2024. This consecration comes as a response to the spiritual needs of our time. It is an act of dedication, trust, and faithfulness to the heart of our Lord, explained Monsignor Petar Palish, Bishop of Mostar Duvno. The bishop stated that the Sacred Heart of Jesus has always held a special place in the devotion of the Croatian people. This year marks the 1100th anniversary of the split church councils and the beginnings of the Croatian kingdom. A similar consecration of the nation to the Sacred Heart of Jesus was done by 160,000 young Croatians in 1900.
Senior church leaders across Ireland have united to thank the police service of Northern Ireland following violent, racially motivated riots in Ballymena. The unrest, which began after the arrest of 2 teens, left over 40 officers injured. In a joint letter, church leaders praised police courage and urged the public to respond with unity, compassion, and respect.
Senior faith leaders across the northern part of Ireland have issued a joint letter offering their support and gratitude to the police service of Northern Ireland, PSNI, amid rising violence and incidents motivated by racial bias in Ballymena this month. In a letter addressed to Chief Constable John Butcher and Policing Board Chair Mukesh Sharma, the Church Leaders Group Ireland commended officers for their courage in the face of adversity and efforts to protect vulnerable communities. The group noted recent shocking examples of assaults and intimidation, while warning that lawlessness can degenerate into anarchy, urging support for the rule of law. The attacks began on June 9th after two 14-year-old boys came under custody for the alleged sexual assault of a teenage girl. Their court appearance with a Romanian interpreter sparked an online backlash, leading to racially charged street clashes. Masked groups targeted security forces with patrol bombs, bricks, and fireworks. The turmoil also reached homes, vehicles, and a relief center where migrant families had taken refuge. While 6 people were taken into custody, at least 41 officers were injured. PSNI deployed water cannon and battened rounds to control the situation. The religious leaders called for compassion, urging citizens to welcome the stranger and show kindness to the most vulnerable, highlighting the need for mutual respect to ensure community safety.
On June 28, 2025, the eve of the feast of Saints Peter and Paul, Archbishop Laurent Ulrich, the Archbishop of Paris, ordained 16 men to the sacred priesthood at Notre Dame Cathedral. This marked the first ordination ceremony held in the iconic Notre Dame Cathedral since it was severely damaged by fire in 2019 and later restored, a significant occasion that also saw the largest group of new priests the Archdiocese of Paris has welcomed in over 20 years.
Notre Dame Cathedral witnessed its first priestly ordination since the devastating fire that nearly destroyed the iconic cathedral in 2009. On June 28, 2025, the eve of the feast of Saints Peter and Paul, Archbishop Laurent Ulrich, the Archbishop of Paris, ordained 16 men to the sacred priesthood. The ordination carried added significance as it marked the largest group of new priests to be ordained in the Archdiocese of Paris in over 20 years. Around 5,000 people attended the ceremony. Approximately 2,000 were present inside the cathedral, while another 3,000 watched the ordination on large screens from the forecourt. The 16 newly ordained priests, aged between 27 and 42, come from a variety of professional backgrounds, including a former military doctor, an IT specialist, and a sports coach. 8 of them are members of religious communities, with half belonging to Emmanuel Community, a French Catholic association of the faithful of Pontifical Rite, founded in 1972 by Pierre Goursat and Martin Lafitte-Cata. This year has seen a notable rise in priestly vocations compared to last year. As signs of a broader spiritual revival emerge across the country, the Catholic Church in France welcomed more than 10,384 adult catechumens at Easter, representing a 45% increase from 2024. Across France, a total of 90 men are expected to be ordained in 2025, including 73 diocesan priests. Among the religious communities, the community of Saint Martin will see the highest number of ordinations, with 9 men set to become priests. In his homily, Archbishop of Paris emphasized that the public witness of these new priests, expressed through active charity and unwavering hope, constitutes the true wealth of their priestly lives.
A 39-year-old man has been arrested for a shocking act of vandalism at a Catholic cemetery near Glasgow. Over 40 headstones were smashed, statues were decapitated, and a large crucifix was set on fire at St. Cornwall's Cemetery in Barhead. The Diocese of Paisley has condemned the attack as senseless, and the suspect now faces multiple criminal charges.
A 39-year-old man has been charged in connection with the vandalism of graves and the burning of a crucifix at the diocesan cemetery of the Diocese of Paisley in Scotland. Grzegorz Strzelecki, a man with no known address, was apprehended by Paisley police for allegedly smashing over 40 headstones, cracking plaques, and decapitating statues of angels at St. Cornwall Cemetery on Glasgow Road in Barhead on Sunday. A large crucifix made of metal and concrete was also set on fire, leaving the statue of Christ blackened. According to a statement by the Diocese of Paisley, the incident is believed to have taken place in the early hours of Sunday, June 29th. Bishop John Keenan of Paisley condemned the act of senseless vandalism. He wrote, quote, "My thoughts and prayers are with the families who have had headstones attacked, as well as with the whole community of relatives and friends who visit St. Cornwall's and care for the graves of their loved ones so tenderly," end quote. Streleski has been charged with willful fire-raising, malicious damage, breach of the peace, and possession of an offensive weapon. He has been remanded in custody for 14 days for further examination. He made no plea when he appeared before Paisley Sheriff Court.
A group calling itself the Soldiers of God stormed the Greek Orthodox Church of the Annunciation in Nazareth, tearing down gates and ringing the sanctuary bell in protest of a deadly ISIS attack in Damascus. The provocative act drew sharp condemnation, with legal action underway and religious leaders demanding accountability.
In a disturbing episode, a group claiming itself as the Soldiers of God reportedly broke into the Greek Orthodox Church of the Annunciation in Nazareth on Sunday evening, removing its outer gate and ringing the sanctuary bell without permission. The premise was closed at the time of the incident, according to a Facebook post by the Greek Orthodox Church. The group claimed the act was to protest against the Islamic State terror attack on Mar Elias Church in Damascus, where at least 20 people lost their lives. Video footage circulating online appeared to show a priest trying to control the crowd as individuals waved Israeli and Christian flags. The recording showed some protesters striking others with wooden crosses. Senior clerics were said to have intervened quickly and contacted police. The Orthodox Community Council stated that they would not allow the desecration of a holy place. The council gave a formal complaint to the local authorities and legal action was underway. Condemnation came from the National Democratic Assembly in Nazareth, which reportedly described the assault as an attack on the city and an effort to sow division. Arabic media quoted the group as calling it a foreign agenda targeting communal harmony. A public gathering in response was set up for Monday evening in the parish courtyard. Grand Ayatollah Nasser Makrim Shirazi reportedly warned of divine punishment for such actions.
The St. Peter's cricket team will begin its Light of Faith tour to England from July 1st to July 9, 2025. Now in its 11th edition, the event celebrates gospel joy, sportsmanship and the unifying power of faith that transcends borders and beliefs. The team is led by Manager Father Eamon O'Higgins, LC, Assistant Manager Father Matthew Bender, LC, and Head Coach Dr. Dane Kirby. Together, they will oversee a squad of skilled priests and brothers representing various dioceses and religious congregations.
The Vatican's St. Peter's cricket team is set to embark on its 11th Light of Faith tour to England from July 1st to July 9th, 2025. The tour, a hallmark event in the team's calendar, continues its mission of promoting friendship, unity, and the values of faith through the game of cricket. Embodying the spirit of ecumenism, the tour brings together players and communities across different denominations and cultures. The Vatican side will play a series of matches against a range of opponents, including St. Mary's University, Authors 11, British Army Chaplains, and the Church of England 11. Of particular significance is the match against the Church of England 11, which continues a long-standing tradition of sporting encounters that symbolize unity, mutual respect, and shared faith between two churches. On July 2nd, the team will also attend a reception at the UK Parliament hosted by the Speaker. This event underscores the growing relationship between the Vatican and the UK and highlights the importance of interfaith dialogue and cooperation in today's world. Another highlight of the tour will be the fixture against the British Army Chaplains, a match that promises both competitive cricket and the spirit of camaraderie. This encounter will showcase how sport can bridge diverse communities and foster greater mutual understanding. The Vatican team is led by manager Father Eamon O'Higgins, LC, Assistant Manager Father Matthew Bender, LC, and Head Coach Dr. Dane Kirby. Together, they will guide a squad composed host of talented priests and brothers from various dioceses and religious congregations. This year's roster includes Father Nelson Puthanparambil CMF, Father Jose Etolil Matthew, Father Jose Reaches SAC, Father Santo Thomas MCBS, Father Matthew Joseph MST, Father Ebin Illikal Anto OM, Father Vavan Thomas OCD, Father Paulson Kochutara Anthony, Father Ebin Matthew OM, Brother Ebin Joe CST, Brother Ajay Joe James CST, and Brother Jace Jamie CST. The Light of Faith Tour is more than a cricketing event. It is a celebration of gospel, joy, and sportsmanship. The enduring power of faith to unite people across borders and beliefs. Through their love of cricket and witness to the gospel, the team hopes to inspire all those they encounter, promoting respect, friendship, and the universal values of fair play.
That's all for today. Until we meet again, God bless and thank you.